Hi everyone. I hope you and your loved ones are safe, healthy, and well wherever you are in these most trying and difficult of circumstances. I say trying because these are indeed very, very challenging and tough times. Because not only have none of us, or at least most of us, never experienced anything like this in our lives, uh, this is also a situation not many of us could have foreseen. And since we couldn't have foreseen it, we were not very prepared for the situation we find ourselves in today. And while that is unnerving, because it's always difficult when there is uncertainty and when there are more questions than definitive answers, if you're a pragmatist like me, you always think that this is an opportunity to almost reinvent yourselves. Uh, this has given us a rare opportunity to almost pause and reset. And when I say reset, I mean re-evaluate the way we work and the way we live, reassess our resilience and our adaptability to tough situations, and also present us opportunities to completely change the way in which we collaborate, in which we work, in which we upskill ourselves. So this is the slight silver lining on the dark clouds that we do see. So it's not all doom and gloom, unlike what many would have you imagine. And the real irony is that the one resource, we are in a resource constrained time, and there seem to be a resource crunch everywhere, be it capital, human resource, raw materials, natural capital. But the one resource that seems to have opened up during these times is time itself. And we always, the common complaint that most working people have is that there isn't enough time to get things done, or I wish I could do more if I had more time. Well, in this situation, you have so much time that has been freed up because of, just for example, if you're not commuting, that opens up so much, so many avenues, so much time. So you really have no excuse to not be able to, do some of the things that you would maybe procrastinated. Now, but time by itself is of not much use. It's very raw. Because you need to know how to utilize it properly, which is why, at the risk of sounding redundant or at the risk of sounding repetitive, the one really key thing that has helped me manage this time better has been plain and simple organizing or organization of my time. When I say organization, it sounds like a very dull word. Sounds like something very mundane, very boring, but believe me, when you start putting things, when you're putting the jigsaw of your daily schedule or your weekly schedule together, you can unlock levels of productivity which previously you would probably could not have, and you will be amazed at how much more you can get done. When I say organization, I obviously mean you must look at getting into a routine. But a lot of people confuse routine with a rut, and I think that's something we need to be very, very careful about. It's important to be organized, it's important to have a schedule, it's important to have a routine, but it's also very, very important not to get stuck into a rut. Just to give you an example of it, it's really important to have physical exercise on a daily basis, but that doesn't mean you have to do the same boring exercises every day. You can always find ways to spice things up, do something new. If you enjoy dance, maybe you can take up an online dance class, which is what many of my friends have done. Most fitness classes are offering online classes, so that's something you can enroll in. If you enjoy cooking, there's no reason for you not to experiment like we've been doing, like my wife and I have been doing, with various cuisines of not just India but of the world. So we have, we've almost created it as almost like a journey of sorts, and we do something about creating a routine every day, but not getting stuck into a rut, and finding new ways of spicing up our daily lives. So I think that's really, really important in order to optimize your productivity. And I think it's really, really important, not when you're getting organized, when you're following a routine. Also, it's very, very important knowing when to cut off, or being really disciplined about your time. I know, from our, you must have heard from our HR, and you must have heard from your colleagues and from your peers and from your managers that it's really, really important to have a clear cutoff between your working hours and your what counts as family time and your personal time. I would take it one step further. Even in your personal life, it's very important to know when to cut off. Just because you're at home and just because you have a lot of time doesn't mean, and you should be binge watching shows till 2 in the morning. So I think that kind of self-discipline is really, really important. It's very, very important to almost wake up and have your regular meals on time and do everything like you would in a normal working day, and not lapse into thinking that you're almost in a quasi-vacation mode, because that's not what we're in. We're in a very, very real normal working mode. We're trying to recreate that normalcy as much as possible. But very, very importantly, allocate time for all the activities that make you happy, which is including work. So I'm assuming that your work should make you happy. So apart from that, in your personal life, things that you enjoy, things that give you joy, make time for those things. Now, from my personal perspective, I've utilized this time to do a few things which I had been putting off for a very, very long time. One of them was actually learning a new language. And when I say learning a new language, my family is from Tamil Nadu, but I was born and raised in Delhi. So I did not have the chance to learn Tamil in forms of reading or writing. I only know it in spoken form. Now I find myself at home with my mother and my father here, and I have been utilizing this time every evening to take about 30 to 45 minutes every day to learn the Tamil alphabet and the Tamil language and grammar from them. And this is something I'd been wanting for a long time, and I decided to do it now because I have the opportunity and I have the time. Apart from that, I'm writing quite a bit. I'm reviewing some of my older, blogs and some of the stuff I used to write around sports and music. So I have renewed my love of writing. I mentioned cooking earlier. I've always been an avid chef, and now this has given me the opportunity to really, really experiment on some new cuisines and trying out some new stuff. Most of which, thankfully, have been hit and very few misses. I'm also revisiting some of my home brewing techniques, and I am looking to learn some music again as well right now. So, there are a lot of things that you would have wanted to achieve or wanted to do, which, like I said earlier, we always said that we didn't have time to do it. So this, I believe, is the right opportunity, and there is really no excuse for you not to utilize this time to upskill yourself. Our own website, the Godrejites, the My Learning Resources, has a lot of courses that are very, very interesting courses, and we have some really interesting tie-ups which you can utilize. There is no better time to have such a plethora of information and academic treasure trove available to you. So I think that is something that if you don't utilize right now, you're really, really missing out on something. So I would urge you all to, dive into that and see the areas where, you really, really can upskill yourself. While I've tried to tell you all about how to keep positive in these times, I think it's very important to acknowledge that not all is rosy. These are tough times. So I think it's really, really important to just be kind in everything you do. When I say be kind, I speak both in a professional as well as a personal sense. From a professional perspective, respect your colleagues' time, respect their calendars, respect the fact that they are going through as much of a tough time as you are, sometimes even tougher times. So try to help them out through that. In your personal life, help out wherever you can, be it in your own house, you're helping your family out, or even if it's contributing to society at large, either through monetary donations or if you can give your time towards something, do that. So I think be kind is a very, very important phrase that's going to get us through this, because it's very easy to get frustrated and angry and irritable at the situation around us. But I think it's very, very important we don't let the situation get the better of us and continue to forward the cause of human decency. I think that's very, very critical. Also, if you're a social being, like me, it has been tough because I really, really do miss going out, traveling, meeting my friends, going out for a for a meal or for a drink. That is something I really miss. And what I've realized has really helped me through this is actually just putting things down on paper, but all the things that I miss so dearly during this time that I can't wait to get back to once this is all over. Be it going to my favorite restaurants, being organizing vacations with my friends, being able to go to concerts, just go to movies. So I'm just making a list of all the things that I'm going to do once this all tides over. And I think that's the message I want to leave you with, and which is that we have to look forward, because although it may seem very bleak, things will get better. This too shall pass. We will emerge out of this triumphant. And I am really, really looking forward to seeing most of you, if not all of you, once all this is over. So stay positive, be kind, organize, and stay safe.